Willie G with the Bob and Tom Show with Costaki Economopoulos, and I'm thrilled because we are here with Tyler Lockett. Tyler, how you doing this morning?
Man, I'm doing real good, man. Just blessed to be here. How you doing?
Doing
Good.
Great, man.
Tyler Lockett, man, you're a big star in the NFL. Let's open with this. What percentage of fan interaction with you is fantasy oriented?
Probably 99.5%.
Is it really that big? Oh my goodness.
Do people send you screenshots of their cool fantasy names with you in it, like maybe Lock It Up? I don't know what it could be, but we could have...
A little bit of the Seattle fans. I think for the most part, either you love me or you hate me on fantasy. So
Yeah.
You get some, hey, man, you really saved the day. I love you. And then you get some, man, you suck. Like, you go to another team. You know, it's just a whole bunch of different stuff.
Well, your style of play sort of speaks to you have these amazing blowout games, right? So fantasy guys are like, they want that every week. That's the fantasy problem, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, though, man, because, you know, we're human beings. It's not like we're robots out there.
Of course.
Each week is going to require a different type of playbook, a different type of mentality. Like, you don't know which guys are going to be utilized the most going into games. It's all about scheming.
Right.
And, you know, fantasy owners don't really know much about that.
Yeah, that's right. Apologies for that cohort. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. I want to ask you this because you're sort of known as being a very easygoing guy. And there's a little bit of reputation that wide receivers have for having a higher proportion of divas in that field. Is that true? Is that fair?
I don't really think it's true. I think the hardest thing, man, is if you give somebody a whole bunch, you got to be able to respect the person you created. You can't just give somebody the whole world and not expect them to want that after they've seen what it was like.
Oh, that's interesting.
So like if you give somebody a piece of cake, you can't get mad when they want cake all the time and if they want more of it because you gave them enough to know what it's like.
That's
to where
right.
now if you give them a little bit or you give them a cookie, they're like, I don't want that. I want the cake.
Right.
You know, so I think that's what it's like because when you look at us as receivers, we're the ones that's running with the ball. We're the ones that's catching the ball. Like you still have running backs and tight ends that do it as much, but a lot of the receivers are the ones that get highlighted the most. So they're the ones that, you know, it's all eyes on them. So, you know, I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to that. I wouldn't call us divas. I would just say that it's hard not to be able to speak out for what you want to see and what you want after being able to get a taste of it.
Right. Yeah, that's a good answer. And the nature of the craft is that you're dependent upon getting the ball thrown to you. So it sort of lends itself to being not thrilled about some certain, play calls. I got you.
Tyler, you're going to get a lot of really great questions today from really good analysts. I'm going to ask you a very dumb thing that I'm certain no one else is going to ask you today. Your Seahawks had a win over my Colts to start the season. And can I tell you, it was just really a bummer for me personally. And I know you were at work. I know it wasn't personal. But would you mind just a personal apology to me, a Colts fan, just for beating my team?
Well, I apologize that you're not a Seahawks fan.
Thank you very much.
Then it would have been a lot easier to enjoy the game if that was the case.
That was not the request. Hilarious.
Hey, how do you use social media to relate to and communicate with your fans?
I just try to be myself, honestly. I think the biggest thing is a lot of people think just because we got to this place that we've never really had to go through a lot of trials and tribulations. You know, it's only injuries or it's like you're blessed because you got all this money. You don't know what we've been through. And I think the biggest thing is just being able to circle back around. Quandre Diggs kind of tweeted about it, but you circle back around and you kind of let people know the obstacles and the things that you've overcame, trying to give advice, try to be able to talk to people because some kids don't listen to their parents, but they'll listen to you because they want to be where you are right now. And so being able to use that opportunity, not trying to be somebody that I'm not, but just trying to reach out to people who are willing to listen, who are willing to be better and willing to overcome, you know, any circumstances.
That's great.
We're talking to Tyler Lockett. What do you foresee happening on Sunday? Who you got?
Man, it's going to be tough, man. You know, I'm more of an analyst when it comes to football, and I think the biggest thing is if the Rams are up early, like they're up a lot, kind of like how the Chiefs were up a lot, it's very hard to come back against a Rams team because their defense is set up to take everything short and to run the ball and have 12 to 15 play drives. But you can't really go deep. You can't really go after the explosive plays consistently. You got to pick and choose. I think if Cincinnati plays like they played against the Chiefs when they were throwing the ball, throwing it short, doing all that, I think Cincinnati has a really, really great chance. But I also think if the Rams get up early, it's no coming back.
Right.
Tyler, one thing I want to talk about is the website, bwhi.org. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I mean, it's Black Women's Health Imperative, and I think the biggest thing that I want everybody to understand that are women is just the importance of being able to get checked up.
Yeah.
You know, if I can be able to say anything about football and being able to use this as an analogy, in football, you can go to many different teams. You can play on many different plays. You can have many different coaches, many different teammates. But the one thing is you only get one body. And you got to be able to take care of your body, whether it's eating, drinking, sleeping right, all those different types of things. They tell us in football, you know, what you eat has an effect on your body. You know, what you drink has an effect on your body. Even the mental side of it has an effect on your body. And so just when it comes to women, I just want them to be able to recognize the importance of being able to nurture their body and take care of their bodies and to love their bodies, so that way they can be able to live as long as possible, because we only get one life in this body that we have. And so it's very important to function the way that we want to function. We have to be able to take care of it at this moment.
Yeah, that's incredible. I want to make sure I direct our listeners to bwhi.org so you can check that out. If I can go back to kind of a stupid, dumb thing. You say you're taking care of your body, you're putting in good foods, I'd imagine. First day of the off season, what is your go-to kind of just like big guy meal? You're done with it. Nachos? Are you going to a taco truck? What's happening?
You know, I think the biggest thing is I'm open.
Yeah.
So I'll go to barbecue.
Sure.
You know, I was just out here, you know, yesterday we went to Soul's, the Mexican restaurant. So we went there and ate, and I got some really good taquitos. It just depends. I think the biggest thing is that I'm not stuck on one thing. I'll go try some new food trucks or some new restaurants that I haven't tried before. But the biggest thing is I want to be better at eating more plant-based stuff.
Yeah.
But also just being able to be healthier overall.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. It's great to talk to you, man. Let's ask you a couple goofy ones. What was your last Google search?
My last Google search was probably my name.
Really? How did it work out for you?
You know, you see some good stuff, you see some bad stuff, but I think everybody has that problem. You want to see what everybody's saying if you haven't heard anything.
I've done that. Yeah, I'm guilty of that.
Do you like let it suggest where it's like Tyler Lockett net worth, and you're like, wait a second, how much should I have?
I actually clicked that like a couple days ago, and I saw what somebody said, and I was just like, well, you know, I'm in real estate right now, and I'm learning like, you know, net worth and stuff, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know if that works with how I'm learning real estate, but hey, you know, it's just a blessing to even, you know, for people to even talk about it, I guess.
That's incredible, man.
Our boss at home is obsessed with the Manning brothers. Over/under on Manning brothers appearances in Super Bowl ads.
I would probably say over.
Yeah,
Over?
You know, I'm not a bettor though.
Sure. No, good for you.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a handful for sure.
Do you get a kick out of the commercials?
Oh yeah, I always look forward to the commercials.
Do you have any favorites from the past that you can remember off the top of your head?
One of the ones that literally came to my head, it was a couple years ago. It was the one whenever it was with Doritos, and I think it was when the guy was in the kitchen eating the Doritos, and then the dog seen it, and so he tried to run and go get it, and then he ran into the window.
That is so fun. Well, thank you so much for talking to us, Tyler. And everybody, please go check out bwhi.org. Support this organization. We appreciate you talking to us. Hope you have a great day here at Radio Row.
We're big fans, man. Keep up the good work.
I appreciate
It's fun watching
it.
you.
Thank you. Y'all be good.
Tyler Lockett, everybody.